Alright. Now when I'm over here stops it?
Yes, that stops it.
Yeah, so I guess we need to...
What do you want to use in?
Now how long do you want this thing?
Well, as long as you need.
Huh?
As long as you need.
So you have to come back in and edit it.
Well, I can't quite do that, but I've got a 15-minute time limit, so this will probably be a two-parter.
Okay. And push them on the left, right? That one.
Yes, so like when the timer right here gets to about 14 minutes or something, like you can stop the recording and then
Okay, well how do you reset it?
I'll have to upload part 1 first. And,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it's running.
Yes.
My name is Rick, and I'm the grandfather of this bunch. And Alex has asked me to tell a few stories about things that have happened to the family. Now you got to realize that I've got 4 children, 4 significant others, 10 grandchildren, and a great-granddaughter. So there's a bunch of us. Years ago, my mother and my father liked to fish. And they would go up from here, we live in Gadsden, and they would go to a place on the river, a backwater of one of the dams, and they would fish. Well, what they really liked to do was trot line. And they would put the trot lines out. A trot line is when you're stringing rope or heavy string from one side to the other, and then you come back and you put staging with hooks on it, and you bait them. And it's called Dr. Pepper. That means that you go out and you check them at 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 4 o'clock in the morning. And it's a pretty good task to do. This particular day, they try to get it done in the daylight. And they would get that done. And my father was in the back of the boat, and he had a paddle. My mother they had tied off the rope, and she was going to push the boat out. And what you would do is take a rod and put it through the string that went out so it wasn't tangled, and they had done that. And so she got back and she got a real good push, and she pushed it. And then jumped in the front of the boat. And they was out about 20 feet, still had an overhang, and a snake fell out in front of the boat. My father picked up the shotgun they always carry with them for snakes and blew the front of the boat out. The boat was made of wood. And he said he sunk and got out of the water. Looked over there, my mother's standing on the bank. She's got on her blue jeans and her tennis shoes and long sleeve shirt. She has no water on her at all. The sneakers are not wet. The pants legs aren't wet. So my father pretty well figured out then that she could walk on water. So she walked about 25 feet on it. And when you're talking about stuff like that, they used to like the frog gig. But they had a way of doing it that was a little bit unique. Took 3 people in a boat. And they used the same flat-bottom boats they made up at this campground. And the 2 brothers that went were super, super, super religious people. And in fact, they lived on the grounds of the church. One of them had a bad stuttering problem. His name was James. James would get the front of the boat. My father would stand up in the middle of the boat with a headlight, and the other brother was on the back of the boat, and he would scull it, or he would make it go that way with the front towards the bank by manipulating the paddle. My daddy would look around, and he'd see a set of eyes, and he'd shoot him with a .22 rifle. James would reach down and grab it, pick it up and put it in a sack. And they probably had already done 20 or 30 of them. And they sit there and they shot one. James reached down, he pulls it up, and it's a water moccasin he's got by the head. Now, he don't care much for snakes anyway. And now he's got a water moccasin looking at him. Very religious man. And he sits there where you can hear him a mile away going, "Gugga, gugga, 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 gugga," down, and throws a snake in the air. Snake comes in the boat, they let the snake have the boat. They all bailed out. They had to finally go and walk down and find the boat later on. But you know, a lot of strange things happen when you're fishing. The same area, my parents went there for 60 some odd years. And so we knew everybody on the creek bank and up the side and down it. And you would take, I don't know, 5, 10 couples, and you'd go down, you'd pitch your tents or stuff in the campground. You get your boats out, and you fish all night or what have you. And when you're fishing like that, it gets pretty rank after a while. So everybody decides they're going to have to take a bath. Well, the river had a sandbar that went right down the middle of it. And the sandbar was only a couple of inches thick or deep. So everybody would go out there and pull their boat up on it. And they'd get out, take their clothes off, get their soap, take a bath on the sandbar, and wash off in the river.
Yeah.
Okay. This time, one of them had built a brand new big seal beam light. We took a light out of a car and hooked it to a battery, and they would use it when they was pick up their trot lines at night. Well, it seemed like a good thing for me to do while I was sitting in the boat. So I picked it up and turned it on and shined down the sandbar, and there's about 20 people butt naked with soap in their hand. Did not get real happy with me, and wouldn't let me play with the light anymore. So, strange things happen when you're camping. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I wrote down some ideas.
Oh, yeah.
We live in Illinois, and my oldest son and his boss both worked for me in the cable industry. Once a month, we would have a deal at the house. Did something. Everybody would come out to the house, and we'd barbecue, we'd do this, and we'd do that.
Sounds fun.
But I tried to do it at least once a month. I had been listening to them for a couple of weeks, saying what was I going to do. I was really thinking about, cooking hamburgers and hot dogs. And they said no, and I said, well, why don't you make gumbo? Well, I haven't been born in Alabama, raised in Louisiana. I don't know how to make gumbo.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I can do that. And I said, well, somebody needs to make a road trip and get some fresh stuff for me. Well, they volunteered. So they left the middle of Illinois and went to the Gulf Coast. They came back with fish and oysters and shrimp and crab, anything you could think of. And I said, okay, wash them up, clean them up, and I'll start cooking. Well, the only thing I can think of is listening to my son and his compadres. Oh, we like hot gumbo. We like it hot. I said, okay. So I had a normal size gumbo pot. which is bigger than what you put a turkey in when you're frying turkey.
Yeah.
And I had everything in, it was going good. And I'd put them up a little bowl of it, and it's oh, not hot enough, not hot enough. I said, okay. So I pulled out a small pan, and I worked on making it hot. I used cayenne pepper.
Oh, God.
I used horseradish. I used Louisiana hot sauce, Tabasco, you want it, and I put it in there. I let it cook for a while, and I stirred it, I give them a small cup, and I'd say, oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. Is it hot enough? Well, it went, a little bit more wouldn't hurt. I'd go back and doctor it again. Until the point that you couldn't be in the same room with it. Your eyes was watering a whole bit. And I made them big bowls and put rice in it, and I carried it to them. Well, they both took their spoons and got them a mouthful of it, and the nose started running, and they swallowed it and drinking water, and I said, well, is it hot? Yeah, that's okay. And I said, well, here, have some more. And I kept it going until they finished off a little pan. And then, so the story goes, the next morning they were hollering for ice cream. But they didn't really want to eat the ice cream. They wanted to cool things off. You know, that's a couple of things we've done over the years and got in trouble with and had fun. My philosophy on life is stranger for most people. I figured if you're sitting here and you fall over dead on the floor, and you know it in your heart that you're going to the other side, then why take life too seriously? Because you're not going to get out of it alive. I'll be back from time to time and dropping some little pearls of wisdom on this. So tune in, keep up, and we'll see what kind of damage we can do.
Yeah.
Ready? I don't know if I stopped it or not.
It still hasn't. You're still recording. Let me see this for a minute. You gotta do it, stop recording, and then do